one day when I was Dharamsala, I had a dream. In the dream, there were mountains. Behind the mountain, there was statue, coming up. I was surrounded with another few kids. And then they were saying, "Oh, demons! There is a demon," and then they run away. And then I'm telling them, "No, it's not demon. It's deities." My name is Lelung Tulku, and when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, I keep telling my mother I wanted to be a monk. At the time, I saw a film that showing Potala Palace, and then a few monks are going up and down, and then I thought, wow, this is the place that I wanted to go and feel like, it's where I belong to, like. So I telling my mother that I wanted to be a monk and I want to go there. And my mother is saying that the local temple is going to rebuild. At the time, I will make a little hut for you and you can be monk in there. Then later on, I had the opportunity to meet His Holiness Dalai Lama when I was 10. I requested His Holiness that please bless me to understand the Dharma well, things like that. And His Holiness asked me, "Do you know Arapata, the mantra of Manjushri?" I said, "Yes, I know." And then he said, "You recite that mantra and I will pray." So I said, "Thank you so much." And then I did recite. So then I had a dream, mountains, like a tree peak-like. And behind the mountain, there was statue, coming up from the mountain, slowly, one middle one. And then afterwards, another one there and another one here. I was surrounded with another few kids. And then they were saying, "Oh, demons! There is a demon." And then I'm telling them, "No, it's not demon. It's deities." Then they run away. Then I still keep looking. When I woke up, I told my teacher, I had a dream like that. My teacher told me, "Oh, that must be signed to these are like Lama Tsongkhapa and his 2 disciples, chief disciples. So you must recite the Lama Tsongkhapa's mantra." So then one day I was called to visit His Holiness Dalai Lama's office. Then I went there, and then they told me that you will see His Holiness Dalai Lama. And then I said, "Oh, okay, if in that case I want to go down and change my clothes in Chuba." Then they say, "Oh, it's okay, what you're wearing is all good." Then I sit back, and then I was thinking, "Oh, if I'm seeing His Holiness, I should have a scarf, kada, and something to offer." Then I said, "I need to get kada." Then they said, "No, we will provide for you." Then I had another opportunity to meet His Holiness Dalai Lama, one-to-one, and then he's very playful and talking, asking all the story, my biography, and all that. I think about an hour. His Holiness was very happy, Then I had a hoodie jacket, and he's putting on and all. Then he asked the office that drove me Nechung by car, and then I was dropped there. So those are very, I think it's really fortunate that when such a young age had the opportunity to get blessing and meet him, and that time also His Holiness wasn't too busy as now. Nowadays it's a very, very tough to get many minutes to speak to His Holiness. I was 10 when I became a monk, and then I had the opportunity to enter into Drepung Loseling Monastery. I studied there, and I got a Tsongkhapa degree in now I think 30 years ago. Then since I was traveling different places, teaching and talking, giving talks, and my main object is that I wanted to rebuild all the Lelung monasteries, main monastery and branches, and also to help religious to have schools and clinics, all that. So I was working towards that sort of project. Also at the same time, I started a project that called Geden Phacho Preservation Center, which is to preserving the teachings, especially oral transmission and empowerments that were very rare and elderly teachers who holds, and we don't wanna lost forever. So therefore, I set up an office in Dharamsala and had a conference on this matter, including Ganden Chiba and His Holiness Dalai Lama's forward, and we had a whole day discussing how we can speedily preserve the teachings. And then since we had this office in Dharamsala, and I'm also going around many great masters asking what they possess, what sort of teachings, empowerments they possess, and then I work out which were the ones are the rare teachings that must be requested quickly to pass on the students. Then I organize teachings at different monasteries, south and north, wherever is convenient, and sometimes very few students. That because of the lineage or secret of the secrecy, you call it, or secret of the teachings, and sometimes many thousands of students. So that sort of work I was doing, and then at the same time, in order to do more work in Tibet, I came to England to see if I gain more possibility to reach in Tibet. So I came to England and studied English So 1.5 years studying English, and then because I had to learn everything, pronunciation and speaking and writing, everything at one go. It was quite hard, but at the end of my study, I gain a little bit, or I understand, or I can communicate with people. But then I was thinking, okay, if I can communicate in a general language, then maybe afterwards I can learn the Dharma terms. But I never got the opportunity to study more Dharma terms. Then people asking me to give teachings here and there. Then with my limited words, vocabularies, I try to teach. And it's a bit embarrassing. Yes, that's me.